Hello all you beautiful people, Zach Dowdy here, and yesterday we actually built a DIY skate spot. Super hyped. Going in to check on it right now just to make sure everything is still there. And yesterday I posted a video about why I build DIY skate spots. So today I figured we'd go a little bit into how to avoid your DIY skate spot from getting blown out. I think that is something that is a constant struggle, but that doesn't mean that you can really, I guess, avoid the inevitable. That's kind of what I feel like is that, like, no matter what, all good things get blown out. No matter how secret you try to keep it or how much you try to gatekeep, like, no matter what, your spot is going to get blown out eventually. So I think it's kind of coming to terms with that. It's like realizing that everything gets blown out within time. So, like, not how do you avoid the inevitable, but how do you balance not getting your spot blown out. The good news is that everything is here. It's still intact, super hyped, and that is a video that's coming soon, probably next couple of weeks, is how to build a DIY skate park or skate spot. There's a couple things that are going to go in here, but I like to take my time with those videos and really make them a resource, so there's a lot of information in there and they're not just like a quick vlog. Like this video is more just me explaining my thoughts on something. Those videos, I'm really trying to articulate it, so it takes a little more time. So this slab actually used to be a DIY skate spot, almost like for me into a skate park. It was developing so fast, and one of the reasons that I think it got blown out and the city came and demolished it so fast is that there wasn't much space around here that was skatable. Like there was no skate parks, and now there's like 5 different skate parks in this area. There was a lot of skaters, and Instagram was just blowing up, and everyone was just like, here's the spot, and like giving it away. And I think that's completely fine. I don't think that's why it got completely blown out. The reason it got blown out, and I know from meeting someone recently at the slab when I was coming to check it out for potentially building here, they let me know that there was a neighbor that just wasn't happy with all the noise and the trash. So it wasn't so much the act of it happening, it was how people were handling themselves, like being really loud, obnoxious, and just leaving their trash everywhere, kind of coming to this area, just using the area and then leaving it. So, you know, that is the first thing, is kind of setting some foundation for your spot, some foundation for the area that you tend to build at, and maybe just relaying that message to other people. And what I mean by that is just letting people know when you're there to, hey, respect the area. Maybe make a sign. That is something I want to do towards the end of this video for this spot that we're working on now, is like, respect the area, pick up your trash. This is the neighbor's community, so don't think of it as yours to just go and trash it, but as like a great opportunity that they're welcoming us. Think of it as like, this is hospitality. So when someone is giving you a lot of hospitality, what are you going to do back? You're going to thank them and appreciate it and clean up your plate and clean up your dishes the same way that you should at a skate spot. One other thing that I did here at this spot is try to communicate with the people that are already here. You know, even if they're not building the skate spot, whether they skate, they don't skate, but just like being a nice person, being respectful to the people that are around this area. Like there's people that are hiking or doing different things, and it's like talking to them, letting them know like what you're doing, being transparent, like, hey, yeah, we're trying to build this stuff to skate, but like we're here to like respect the community and clean up after the area. So like, don't leave your trash if you're done building the spot. I know I kind of already hit that, but like, again, it's just being more respectful to the people in this area. If you're getting out of your car and a neighbor's like, hey, like, what do you think you're doing? Instead of just like firing at them, like, what do you mean, what am I doing? Just say, hey, how's your day going? And just being nicer and approaching it from this, you know, more of a level-headed perspective, because I think a lot of times we try to defend ourselves when we're in certain situations that we know we shouldn't be in. So instead, just being honest, like, yeah, we know this isn't exactly what it's for, but we're trying to make use of it. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make right now is like, be respectful to the other people in the area, regardless of their beliefs or differences that you have. Now, to that point, you should always get the people that are inhabiting an area on your side, regardless if it's a DIY skate spot that you're building or it's a spot that you're trying to avoid getting blown out. Is, you know, if there's homeless people or drug addicts, anything of that nature, maybe you don't agree with their life choices, that's okay. Set your ego aside, set your identities inside, and reason with them. Try to be a civil person, because a lot of times you can give them some ownership. Say, hey, we're trying to keep this area clean, and we're not trying to, you know, trash it. We're not trying to be obnoxious and intrude with other people. So it's like, you could eventually have them be like a watchdog in a way, instead of like, hey, we're cleaning up this area and pushing out the druggies and the homeless. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're creating a community, we're getting them involved, getting them some more ownership, so that maybe it could push them to be a better person as well. And it just creates a better positive cycle for that area. Super hyped that everything is still here. There's a lot of potential here. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to blow it out. This video. I'm more so trying to not avoid the inevitable, which is a spot getting blown out, but like trying to set a foundation of like, hey, respect the area, and the chances are people will respect the fact that you're doing this, even though we're intruding. So anyways, I'm gonna go home and make a little sign for this DIY skate spot. French Bulldog Ruby Tuesday, she's been having some arthritis, some issues going on, so got this little outside crate so she can like chill with me while I'm doing stuff out here. And I still need to clean up all my, well, I did clean up my tools already, but I need to get everything reorganized from yesterday's build. It's all just like sitting out over here in a giant pile. Should we do a video on like all the tools you need for a DIY skate spot? I feel like that's already pretty self-explanatory. We talked about that before. You know, there's so many different tools you can use, but there's a few tools that are like the essentials, but that's nor here nor there. I'm gonna get this sign painted and kind of, I don't know, write some, not rules, but like hopes for the people that do visit the spot. So the next move is to go put this sign at the spot. Hopefully some people listen to it. Not everyone's going to, but you can just make that effort. Before we wrap this video up, I do want to get to some of the questions from yesterday's video. I wrote a few down. The Prestige, he said, how does your family and friends feel about your channel? At first I was actually like really shy about it, really hesitant about it. I didn't really tell anybody. I kind of was just doing it almost like secretly, but now everyone really supports it. I can't say like anybody's like been weird about it. I think there's certain people that maybe haven't been as interested to get involved, but yeah, honestly, like I've had so much love and support. I kind of try to surround myself around people that are supportive, so I think that's definitely played a role. Yeah. New Sean said, any tips for making skate spots when you're a kid so I don't look like a vandal, like any areas to stay away from and how not to look bad? Ooh, good question. I like that. I'm trying to think like back when I was young. I think like one of the good things that you can do if you do have them in your area is build in ditches, because ditches normally don't have anybody in them. If there are people in there, they're probably not too worried about you building a skate spot. So finding the right spot is definitely key. If you have some ditches, that'd be crucial. If it's like public property, that is, you know, kind of hard to do. I remember having a hard time with that. You can try to get like an older homie involved. Maybe you have like an older friend from the skate park or something like that to get involved. That can help you. Trying to think like what else you could do. You know, I think the other thing is like if you're really young and you're under 18 and you're like a minor, like that's working in your favor if you ask me. I think I didn't really take advantage of that, but like you can just say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm young and dumb, and some guy on YouTube told me to go do this, so like blame it on me. Maybe that helps. We got, let me get to one other question before we wrap this video up. David E said, great video. I think he was referring to yesterday's video about why I build DIY skate spots. He said, I really like the concept of DIY skate spots, but would like to know more about how you cleared up people parties that might be involved. I like to start some small spots in my local, but it's hard to know where it would be appropriate to do. Do you typically talk to people in the area or just let them know you're building something? It's kind of one of those things where you ask for forgiveness rather than permission, but it really depends. So like where I would go with this is like if you're building at an area where there is local people, there's a local property or local business, anything like that, definitely ask them. I've done that. Like the bank spot, for example, I kind of like approached the coffee shop and kind of like told them what I was doing versus asking them, but it's kind of like filling it out, because if you just tell them you're doing it, they're gonna you're gonna get their reaction versus like asking for permission, where it can be a little bit harder of charters to kind of like walk through. So I think like definitely communicating with the people in the area, like I was saying earlier, communicating with people in the area, even if they don't skate or they're just over there, I think that's crucial. So yeah, definitely put the fillers out there. You know, I think another thing you can do is like if you have a local skate shop, you can start there because they're gonna know other local businesses. So maybe like you ask your local skate shop where a good place to build a skate spot would be at, and they might be able to ask other shop owners. So that's like one place you can definitely start if you're just skating. So yeah, hope those help. A couple questions, leave some more down below and I'll get to them in the next video. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next one. Mash.